10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Utkarsh Tandon, and I welcome you all to yet another post-match analysis on the YouTube channel of Go Beyond Sports. A super Saturday, to say a double header, and we witnessed two different kind of games. First one being a bit of one-sided affair between the Delhi Capitals and the Kolkata Knight Riders, while the next one was a thriller altogether, as Kings 11 Punjab was involved in it. And Kings 11 Punjab and Nail Biters are a bit of story which are stitched together, as Nail Biters and the Kings 11 Punjab have some relation in this IPL 2020. Giving a brief backdrop of what happened in the first game between the Kolkata Knight Riders and Delhi Capitals. It was Shreyas Iyer who won the toss and opted to bowl first. In reply, KKR were 36 for 2 in the power play, having lost both their openers. And also, they lost Dinesh Karthik in the 8th over. But then there was the decision of Brendan McCullum to send Sunil Narine at number 5. And then it was Narine and Rana show, as Nitish Rana opened in this game. So Nitish Rana scored 81 of 53 balls, while Sunil Narine scored 64 of 32 deliveries, and they took KKR from there to 194 for 6. A mammoth 194 for 6, which at one stage was looking impossible. They scored 106 runs. KKR scored 106 runs in the middle overs, that is from 7 to 15, and lost just a wicket of Dinesh Karthik. In reply, Delhi Capitals could manage only 135 for 9 in their quota of 20 overs. They were also in a very similar position if we talk about the power play. They were 36 for 2, the same score which KKR had at the end of the power play. And after that, in the middle overs, the story changed, whereas KKR scored 106, whereas Delhi Capitals could score 64 runs only and lost their 2 wickets. Shreyas Iyer did some work to stabilize Delhi Capitals, but only managed to get out on 47 of 38 balls by Varun Chakravarti. It was the day of Varun Chakravarti as he spun the web around Delhi Capitals and had the best figures of this IPL season, 5 for 20 in 4 overs. It was not only about Varun Chakravarti's brilliance, it was also about Delhi Capitals batters throwing their wicket. So KKR won with a massive margin of 59 runs, because in T20s, this margin is considered a big margin, and now they have a hefty net run rate. Now, coming on to the evening game, which was a thriller altogether, as I said, a nail biter. And as KXIP was involved, so it had to be the nail biter. The KXIP could never win a outright match or never lose outright match when they are involved in any game. Having won the toss, SRH elected to bowl first, that is David Warner, and KXIP were in a good position right there in the power play, scoring 47, losing just a wicket of one of the openers, that is Mandeep Singh, because Mayank Agarwal was missing the game due to the hamstring injury. But it was the middle overs where KXIP were actually lost the track, losing 4 wickets and scoring just 41 runs. And in the death overs, that is from 15 to 20, they managed to score 38, losing 2 wickets, and they ended at 126 for 7 in their 20 overs. In reply, Sunrisers Hyderabad went all guns blazing. They were provided a 52-run opening stand, 52 for no loss in the power play, with David Warner on song and well supported by Johnny Bairstow. But in the middle overs, they lost 3 wickets. And scored 45 runs. At the stage of 50, at the end of 15 overs, it was all good as they were 97 for 3, and the duo which won the game for them in the last outing, that is Manish Pandey and Vijay Shankar, they both were on song and they both were playing. So the equation was 30 runs required in 30 balls. But after that, in the next 5 overs, it was the turnaround by the Kings 11 bowlers. 17 runs SRH scored and lost 7 wickets. 7 wickets. Chris Jordan took 3 of those wickets, while Arshdeep Singh also picked 2 of those wickets, while one was a run out. So KXIP were bundled out at 114 in just 19.5 overs. Now, for more of the analysis, we'll have Shirish sir with us, and Monty Paji will be joining us in a few moments. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm well. Did you see
But
the example? What would you say was that example of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory or victory
yes,
from the jaws of defeat?
snatching victory from the jaws of defeat as 52 for no loss in the power play, and then
No,
it didn't.
I feel that Sunrisers Hyderabad snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. They had no
Yeah,
business to lose after being 97 for 3, requiring only 30 of the last 5 overs, that's 30 balls, run a ball, and with 7 wickets in hand, and with the pair that had carried them across the line in the last match at the crease. And
I have
then,
Paji with us. Yeah, sorry. I think I misconstrued you. Yes, I'll say the same. That Sunrisers should have won the match, but it was
yes,
Punjab having the last laugh. So I
yeah,
have
and
Paji with us
Punjab.
now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sat
100%.
Sri Akal,
I agree.
Paji.
Yeah, Sastrikal,
Yeah, Sat.
All right.
yeah. Look, I truly believe that that was probably the best win of the IPL. You know, that's really kind of like, it's like, wow, how did that happen?
Yeah.
It's like a
So
winning team, a team that has won 3 in a row, has now learned how to win from even an adverse situation. So it's now made it 4 in a row.
Yeah,
KXIP.
this
yes,
is this is exactly what you're absolutely spot on. Teams like there's CSK who just they turn up and they know they're going to lose every game even if they're in a winning position. But then Punjab Kings who have just when you know how to win, it just sort of lifts the spirits. Like, no guys, come on, we've won 3 in a row. We're gonna win our next match, and it's been the best win of the tournament. Best win of the tournament. It's been everyone's talking about 6s and 4s. Suddenly it's like actually these low run, where you just switch the TV off and next thing you know, like, wow, they won the game. Like, how good is that? That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Paji, 7 wickets lost by SRH, 17 runs scored in the last 4.5 overs, and it's the habit now. Now KXIP are becoming habitual to giving a heart attack to their fans. It comes as a surprise. It comes as a shock in both the ways.
I think, look, I think sometimes if you're too passionate, you can feel really hurt about your team, and if your team is doing really well, like, Punjab's doing really well, don't get too excited. The next game they may not do as well, and suddenly you're feeling really down about it. So it's cricket, isn't it? This is T20. This is why people love watching the IPL, because it's the feeling of adrenaline, feeling of as a fan who loves their sport. Um, you know, you feel like you're part of that team's part of me. I'm living through
Yeah,
as a sportsman through that team. For many fans who love, who have normal jobs, but at least they can for hour and a half during the weekend or whenever they can feel like they're a sportsman, and that's what the IPL does. That is the true essence of the IPL. It makes a normal person feel like a sportsman by watching their favorite team.
Paji, we talked at an earlier stage about the 4 teams likely to make the cut at the playoff stage. And there, I think we said that 3 teams are almost certain to get in the top 3. Mumbai Indians, Delhi Capitals, and RCB. And the fourth team, we were wondering who would be the fourth team. And I had plumped for CSK, but CSK is definitely out of the equation. So
Yeah.
now, don't you think that Kings 11 Punjab is now odds-on favorite to be the fourth team to make the cut?
Yeah, I think so. I think they deserve it. They're the one who's played probably the best cricket, so I think they deserve to be there and to actually fourth spot should go to Punjab Kings 11.
But
They've turned their season around, and that's the story, isn't it? That's the story of the IPL.
yeah,
They were at the bottom. They were at the bottom just 4 games ago, and they've won 4 on the trot, and now they've got 10 points with 3 games to go, which means they can get to 16, but they're likely to get to at least 14 because they're playing against the relatively weaker teams. Whereas Sunrisers Hyderabad, who's the other team in with a major chance of making the cut, are playing against the top 3 in the league. They're playing against Delhi Capitals, Mumbai Indians, and RCB.
But Shiri sir and Paji, keeping in mind the first game of today, KKR winning it with 59 runs. Now they are at 12 points. So there'll be a stiff competition between KKR and KXIP for the 4th place.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Look, yeah.
Yes, Paji, continue.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I think that it was, for me, it was a must important win for Punjab Kings to win this match, and they've obviously done that. But the concern is going to be, CSK now. What do? Do you keep Dhoni, or do you just sort of say bye to him now?
They're going to be They're going to be playing only for pride in their remaining 3 games. Even if they win all 3, they get to only 12 points, which is not good enough for the cutoff.
So my question is, might Dhoni pass his best now?
Paji, they are waiting for the flight to their respective home nations. So now coming on to the first game of the day, afternoon game between Delhi Capitals and KKR. KKR 36 for 2 in the power play, having lost Dinesh Karthik in the 8th over as well. But after that, it was Nitish Rana, who hasn't performed for the last 6 games out of the 7. And along with Naren at 5. And clearly, Morgan mentioned it in the post-match presentation that sending in Naren at 5 was a complete decision taken by Brandon McCullum. It was his card that he played. 106 for 1 in the middle overs. That is from 7 to 15. So Narayan and Rana show. What's your take, Paji and sir?
Yeah, look, I thought Rana was very classy because he's obviously, I think his father-in-law passed away, didn't he? And that was a very classy touch he did in the IPL.
I have liked watching Nitish Rana since he used to play for Mumbai Indians. And I thought he was a very, very fine player. But he hadn't got many runs in this particular IPL. So it was nice to see him strike the ball right from the middle of the bat. And as Paji said, very classy knock. It wasn't a chancy innings, wasn't an innings full of, nicks and cuts which could have gone to hand. It was right from the middle of the bat. He was playing really, really well today. So
it was.
Yeah. A big plus point for his team, for KKR.
And Naren at 5 has worked. So, do you think that they'll continue with this Naren at 5?
Yeah. Look, that's a one-off thing, man. That was the bonus for Narayan to come in there and do really well. They scored 64 of 32 balls. That kind of helped them, And I think it's good. It's good, we were thinking Owen Morgan not being the right captain, but I think it's obviously, when they win, everyone's going to say things are working, but you get the feeling that with Kolkata Knight Riders, they need Sunil Narayan to score some runs, and then they start that or Rana or one of these guys to like obviously get the runs for them, and then it's actually a question of one of their batters just batting 10 overs. That's all KKR needs, and then they can build their innings around that. So that's going to be that's what they need to do. Is they need someone to just bat half the overs so they can start building their innings, and hopefully that they're able to do it more consistently now.
Now,
did you notice Sunil Narayan's new bowling action?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
That he was actually practicing it before the match as well, to hide the ball, and didn't load it just directly from downwards. He'll take it up.
He was bowling like Slinga Malinga.
And
Without the pace.
And quick word on Patrick Cummins. We've always mentioned that Pat Cummins should bowl at that test match length, that 6 to 8 meter length with 2 slips or 3 slips at place. And today he did the same. Means prior to this game, he had 3 wickets in whole tournament, but today he picked 2 in the power play itself.
Yeah,
yes, Pat Cummins coming good was a big plus point for his team. Pat Cummins, he's performed in the 10th game.
And now Paji, for that mystery spinner Varun Chakravarti, and just to inform the viewers, he's pursued architect. He was a freelance architect as well. He actually was backed out of cricket at the age of 17, pursued architect, and then he got in again. Today he brought out the best figures in this IPL, 5 for 20. I want to ask that, was it Chakravarti's brilliance only, or was it no brain usage from the batters of Delhi Capitals as they threw wickets, playing some glorious shots?
Look, it's when it's your day and everything goes to plan, you kind of get the feel that actually this is KKR at their best, and it's surprising to see that Andre Russell isn't playing, and I think that's the reason KKR will lose it. To be honest, I think because he's a big player, and because he hasn't been performing, it kind of shows that, I don't expect him to be. He may get featured, but he's such a big player, and it's probably the right decision that they didn't play Andre Russell.
I think perhaps it is the fact that Sunil Narayan got runs, very, very important runs in the middle stages, that took KKR to very close to 200. And the moment they hit 190 plus, it was pretty obvious that the opposition was not going to be able to face it on that particular ground. And 59 run margin is a thumping margin.
Yes, that's what I mentioned.
Even if you take 30 runs off, where I thought maybe 160, 170s are probably a more kind of a target. They still would have lost by 20, 30 runs. So, yeah.
Just to float a stat, in this match, Varun Chakravarti's figures read 5 for 20 in 4 overs, while other spinners gave 89 runs, didn't pick any wicket in the 8 overs, conceded 5 fours and 5 sixes, whereas Varun Chakravarti just conceded a 4. This was something interesting.
That is very impressive, as a spin bowler, if you don't go for any boundaries, then you're going to obviously think that, you can control maybe not one side of the wicket, you can actually control the batters below. That makes it a lot easier. So, you need, I think, when you're trying to defend any total or any large target, you need one of your bowlers not to go for many boundaries, and 1 or 2 in their 4 overs, and then you can sort of build build your innings around that bowler. Makes it a lot easier to captain the team. So that was very handy. He only went for one boundary.
Okay. So now a quick word before adding fans on KXIP's bowling effort. It was the 16th over when Jordan got Manish Pandey out, and after that it was just a cycle stand where you push one, the others went falling. 17 runs in the last 4.5 overs, losing 7 wickets. Quick word on KXIP's effort, and then, or rather, SRH's losing story.
SRH committed harakiri. That's what they did.
How did they lose that game? Oh, I'm still. It makes me laugh because I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That was.
I mean, Kings 11 Punjab were doing this kind of thing in their first 4-5 games. You know, snatching defeat in the jaws of victory, and this is exactly what the opposition did today. SRH were guilty of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. They were winning at a canter, and I don't know how they lost 7 wickets for so little in those last 5 years. Yeah, really. I mean, it was shocking. Very poor cricket. Very poor.
Yeah.
I mean, you give credit to the bowlers of Kings 11 Punjab, but at the same time, to do it at, a run of ball, you could have even done it in singles, but they were completely smothered for some reason. I don't know why. Just bad cricket. This is what I felt.
Yeah. You know,
so will this win shatter the morale of SRH going forward? Means if you lose this kind of matches?
I don't think it'll affect them. I think that they still believe they can win, and they still believe they're a good team. So I think they'll still go again.
They've got 3 tough games, so I guess knowing Warner is a very he's a fighter. He won't give it up very easily. So I don't think this will dishearten them too much, except for the fact that they now have to fight very much harder to try and make the cut. Because it's now apparent that at least 14 points will be required for the 4th team. Because I think among the top 3, all of them will go to 16 or more. That's how it will be.
Yes. So that.
Yes, Paji, continue.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
so now
I was going to say that.
Yeah, please. Sorry.
You appear to be driving. I see the rain on your windscreen. On the side windows of your car. Nice of you to be with us even when you're driving. So that shows your commitment to this program, commitment to the game.
Yeah.
We at GBS are very humble. Means every day coming in, Paji, a lot of thanks. Now I have Nitesh with us and then Rohan. So Nitesh, you're live in the show. Any comments or questions? Go ahead.
Yes. Hello Utkarsh ji. Hello Shirish sir. Hello Monty ji. मैच से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन तो मैं करूंगा बिल्कुल बाद में. मेरा एक क्वेश्चन आप दोनों से, शिरीष सर और मोंटी सर, आपसे कि जो आज विजय शंकर को जो चोट लगी थ्रो जब हुआ उस समय देखे होंगे आपने, जैसे कई बार बल्लेबाज जब होते हैं स्पिनर को वो जब खेलते हैं तो वो हेलमेट उतार कर खेलते हैं. क्या सेम थिंग अगर जब बल्लेबाज इस तरह से बल्लेबाजी कर रहे हो बैट्समैन जब हेलमेट नहीं लगाए हो और ऐसा इंसिडेंस हो, तब फिर क्या होगा? बहुत बड़ा इंसिडेंस हो सकता है, बहुत बड़ा सेटबैक हो सकता है. इस पर आप लोगों की क्या कमेंट्स है, मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ.
यानी कि हेलमेट के बिना खेलने की बात.
जी. कई बार जैसे धोनी खेलते हैं स्पिनरों को, धवन खेलते हैं जब हेलमेट उतार देते जब स्पिनर लगे.
काफी बैट्समैन
जी
रहे थे.
जी.
मेरे हिसाब से मेरे हिसाब से most of the spinners bowl at speeds below 90 kmph. In fact, they are in the early 80s, 81, 82. So even if that ball hits them on the head, I don't think they would be as badly affected as a ball that hits them at 140, 145 kmph, like a Pat Cummins ball or something.
Yeah.
They have to have a helmet. And even with a helmet, अगर बॉल ग्रिल को लग जाए या हेलमेट के साइड को लग जाए तो उनको चेक करना पड़ता है कि is the helmet still in working condition or do they need to change the helmet. Also, they will the team doctor will look at the batsman's eyes and check whether he can focus, he can see properly, is he fit to continue, या उनको concussion हुआ है, he needs to leave the field and another batsman needs to come in. So for a fast bowler, wearing a helmet is definitely required. I mean,
Sir,
a player like Sunil Gavaskar was never hit on his head during his entire career. That silly skull cap which he wore, which he
Yeah.
gave finally to MCC, the doctor there said that it's quite apparent that Mr. Gavaskar was never hit on his head because this skull cap wouldn't
And
have
that
helped him.
too at the later stages, sir.
Yeah,
he wore
very
the
late
skull
stage
cap
of his
that-
career.
Yes.
By comparison, even a batsman as great a genius as Sachin Tendulkar was hit on the helmet several times during his career, both in one-day games as well as in Test cricket. So, I think wearing a helmet for a fast bowler is absolutely essential, no question about it. I think most of the batsmen feel that any spinner who bowls in the early 80s is not likely to get called to jump from a length and hit him on the head. Correct me if I'm wrong, Monty Paji. What do you think?
सर जस्ट मैं इंटरप्ट करूंगा सर प्लीज एक सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था जैसा आज हुआ सर थ्रो जब फील्डर तेज थ्रो मारे जैसा आज हुआ सर इंसिडेंट मेरा क्वेश्चन वो उससे रिलेटेड था कि जब बल्लेबाज स्पिनर को खेल रहा होगा और ऐसे कोई पोजीशन आती है कि फील्डर बहुत तेजी से थ्रो मारता है जब स्ट्राइक हैंड हो चाहे नॉन स्ट्राइक हैंड हो वहां पर अगर किसी को चोट लग जाए जब हेलमेट नहीं पहना हो बल्लेबाज तब तो बहुत ज्यादा परेशानी हो सकती है क्या हेलमेट कंपलसरी हो जाना चाहिए मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है सर क्योंकि आज जो विजय शंकर को हुआ अगर वो स्पिनरों को खेल रहे होते तो वो कैप लगाए होते या कैप नहीं लगाए होते और वैसी पोजीशन में उनको अगर बॉल लगती तो बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लमेटिक सिचुएशन हो जाती सर मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है
Very interesting.
Let me ask Monty, sir. Monty Paji, do you feel that a helmet should be made compulsory even to play spinners?
No, not against spinners. But it's up there. Like I think that I remember hitting sixes, big sixes. When I didn't wear a helmet. So but that was at club cricket. But but I think it frees you up as a person. You prefer not to wear it, and it's your risk if you play a sweep shot and it hits you top edge and it kind of hits you on hits your body
Hit you on the
or
face.
your face.
Hmm.
Yeah, then that's the risk. That's the risk you take. But if your game plan is to play straight down the ground and to play into areas, like square of the wicket, boundary options, come down the wicket, hit over the top, and then maybe hit cow corner. You're not playing really across the line. You're just playing slightly, square of the wicket straight.
If I may attempt to answer Nitish's question, if a fielder throws the ball which has been hit off a spinner and it hits the batsman or non-striker who is going for a run on the head, जैसे आप कह रहे हैं आज विजय शंकर का हुआ, so I think there the responsibility would lie entirely with the batsman. I don't think, I don't think you should make a helmet compulsory against a spinner because जो भी हो, when you wear a helmet, there is that added head weight on the head as well as the grill makes it difficult to see the ball at certain angles. So most of the batsmen who play against spinners prefer to play without a helmet so that they can see every little revolution of the ball, shall I say. And if during the course of that, if the ball hits them in the face, that is the risk I think they're prepared to take. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before going ahead to Rohan, we have Yo Mahesh with us, former cricketer. And he's saying that DC should defeat SRH. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
When
Look,
Delhi Capitals.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, what was the question?
No, it wasn't a
He's
question.
saying
It was a comment that he's hoping
comment.
that Yo Mahesh, who's a former player, former Ranji Trophy player, is hoping
And
that
IPL as well.
Delhi Capitals should defeat SRH in their next match.
And he's a
Uh,
former Delhi Daredevils player as well.
That's right. That's exactly so. So it's more a comment than a question.
Yeah, if Delhi Capitals want to make it into the playoffs, then they've got a sea of teams like Sunrisers. They must be,
Yes.
some of the younger players must be quite, down and out. But I think, Delhi Capital should win that. They should win that game.
Yes.
Now moving to Rohan. First of all, I'd like you to unmute yourself and switch on your mic, and then you can probably ask your question or make any comment.
Yeah, sure. So thanks again. I was not available for the last 2 days. Sorry for that. And my question I would like both of the expert comments on Arshdeep's performance. I think none of us would have expected that he would do such a great job. So what's the reason he is performing so well? Is the support staff the reason, or it's his dedication and his work done, which he has done in so many years, which is now which is now showing colors on the field?
I'll let
Look.
Monty Paji answer this one.
Yeah, look, the thing is, right, is that when any team is losing constantly, and you're getting battered, it's like going in a boxing ring. You know you're just going to get punched. You can't punch back. All you're going to do is get punched all the time, and you've got to keep taking it until you've lost the boxing match. And it's the same thing with cricket sometimes. Every cricketer goes through a stage in their career where every game they go, they just lose, and they go home and they think, I hate playing cricket. And that's what's happening with Chennai Super Kings. So if you're going to keep punching, it's like a cornered tiger. If you keep poking the tiger and not feed him after defeat, so after defeat, you don't feed the tiger, all you do is just keep him hungry and keep poking him. He's going to come back, and he will bite you like you won't believe how he's bitten you. And I think we may even see that type of MS Dhoni in India next year. That tiger's keep getting poked.
Yeah, and just to add on, another remarkable spell from young Ravi Bishnoi. 4 overs, 13 runs, a wicket.
Before you go to Ravi Bishnoi, I'd like to make a couple of comments about Arshdeep.
Please
there are three advantages that I see to Arshdeep. One is his background of under 19 performances. They were very good.
Yeah.
Number two is he's a left arm pacer. Now, left arm pacers are always a great advantage to have in your side. And it's like in any sport. I play badminton a lot. I find playing against a left-hander, natural left-hander, a big problem. And I think Monty Paji will agree with me. He himself is a left-arm spinner. That being a left-hander is a huge natural advantage for a bowler, especially. Also for batsmen.
Look.
Go ahead.
Look, the thing is, right, if you're supporting your teammates and you know the right thing to do is, I must support my teammates. I know that's the right thing. But you have a choice. Your choice is, the coach has already told me I have to hit from ball one in the power play period. And I'm like, but I haven't scored runs in the last few games, so I'm going to I'm not gonna go against the coach's wishes. Then the coach is gonna get angry. He's like, mate, part of the game plan was you're supposed to hit the ball in the power play. Why are you defending? Why are you thinking about yourself being so selfish? And that people can see that in a teammate, and people can also see this is a good guy, man. This guy is actually trying to help my team, and he's actually trying to support my team. And I'm not in good form, but I'm going to go with the coach's. Coach wants me to go from ball one. I'm going to sacrifice it. I hit 10 of 3 balls. I get out the 4th ball. But you know what? I'm doing it for the team. That's a good team, man. You're sacrificing your form, even your position the next game, but you still listen to the team plan. Now, that's the type. That's why do you think Chennai Super Kings have kept all of these aging players? Because they are loyal to the game plan of Chennai. And that's why when you say when you say, why are certain players playing and others are not? It's because of that. And when a team is not performing well, you still got to be loyal and commit and be loyal to your team and your game plan. If you start being selfish and thinking, oh yeah, but I want to get my runs, but I don't want to risk hitting a 6 out of the ground because I may get out, and if I get out, I may not get many runs. Then you're being very selfish. You're like thinking about your performance, and a coach and a team would know that. That's why this Chennai Super Kings team, I don't see a lot of players changing because they've been so loyal to Dhoni, and Dhoni's been loyal to them and saying, guys, whatever game plans I give you, you guys follow it through. I'm going to make sure that I will be loyal to you guys for next year. And that's, what? Good human beings, man. It's not about your performances. It's about your loyalty to your team. And that's why the likes of, after every game, every youngster just wants to sit down and talk to Dhoni. They don't care about the result. They want to speak to Dhoni about cricket. Because that's what he is as a human being, man. Marinder Singh Dhoni.
Even his opponents want to sit down and talk cricket with Dhoni.
Yeah. They're like, they lose the game. They're like, okay, we need to have a session with Dhoni now because we can't miss this opportunity. This is what Dhoni is, man. He's a loyal guy, loyal to the game plan. And that's when people say, what's a loyal player? What's a player that is loyal to the team and not selfish? You have an option, like I gave you in that example. You either go hard because the captain says it, and I may get dropped, or you just say, I'll be selfish. And that's what, in the past, certain players have been. And they're so selfish that they even have the choice. They may even have the choice to think, you know what? Actually, I should go with the coach's game plan, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be selfish. And you know what? They'll pay the price. They know they're doing wrong. They know they are doing wrong against the team's game plan. And everyone's in the team thinking, what's going on? We had a team meeting yesterday. Everyone agreed that I don't care if you haven't been performing well. You're going out. First 6 overs, you're going to smash it. Who cares? But they still don't want to do that. They're still thinking about themselves. Then them sort of players don't last long, in team environments. They'll die. You know what? We got to get rid of this person because, he's not loyal to the team game plan. He's loyal to himself and his performances, but not what's important for the team.
Or sometimes you might miss the nature of the beast and get 36 not out in 60 overs.
Well, that's what I mean. That's you got to, end of the day, you want to be a good team player. Whatever the coach says and the captain says, you follow that through. And then once you follow that through, then do whatever you want to do. So if the first 6 overs he said, go and smash it, and you smashed it, and you stayed in, then do whatever you want to do after.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And now,
go and play your flamboyant shots. But if the captain said the first 6 overs, I want you to go hard, and you're selfish, you're like, No, I'm scoring 15 runs of 20 balls. And then afterwards, you smash it. And then afterwards, you start smashing it. And then you justify to the coach, oh, yeah, but by the way, I got 40 runs of 30 balls. We did all right. He goes, yeah, but that wasn't part of the game plan, was it? You should have stuck to the game plan. What I told you, you're not loyal to the game plan. You are loyal to your performances. Like, that's not good for the team. We're not going to get anywhere with this.
So now moving to
them sort of players get dropped.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happened with Andre Russell. He's been not loyal to the team. He's been thinking about himself.
A bit of fitness concerns as well. So now, Baji, your take on young leg spinner Ravi Bishnoi. Another remarkable spell, 4 overs, 13.
Well, you wanted to know what a loyal player is and an unloyal player.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Ravi Bishnoi, right? Ravi Bishnoi is an exciting prospect because he's hungry, he wants to perform well, and he's a very humble. He's humble in his approach. I just hope he stays like that, because once the game gets a bit easier, you suddenly don't work as hard. Now he knows he's under extreme pressure. He's never been under this sort of pressure, and he wants to perform and he wants to do well. So he needs to remain in that attitude, in that, like you say, you wear that hat when you come onto the field. He needs to remain in that humble attitude, because then he will continue to grow. He'll continue to treat each game like he played that game. But if he gets a bit sort of, it's a bit easy for me now, it may change his performances. He's a young kid, and he must remain in that mindset of like, wow, I'm so excited. It's my first game. I'm hungry to perform well. I'm just hungry to perform, hungry to score, hungry to, I'm not about cool haircuts, earrings, tattoos. No, that's not me. I just want to, I'm,
the own natural style should prevail.
Yeah. This is who I am, my natural self. And this is my first season. And I hope I just remain like this for the next season, because he needs to keep that attitude as it is, man. If he does, he will play for India, man. He will definitely play for India.
Yeah, and definitely Anil Kumble's support as a mentor is really helping him. So now, Baji, it was the collapse on the part of Punjab as well. 41 for 4, just 41 runs, 4 wickets they lost in the middle overs. So the performance of Rashid Khan again. First over he went for 9 runs, and then he completed his spell with figures of 14 for 2 wickets. So I want your comments on the performance of Rashid Khan as well as Jason Holder, who the inclusion of Jason Holder is really striking the balance for SRH.
Yeah, look, the bowlers didn't do it. The bowlers did the fantastic job. Rashid Khan always does his job. Jason Holder does his job. But for me, I would probably say, when you're, this is the thing, man, with T20 cricket. Even if you're in such a strong position, you can't let your foot off the gas until the game's over. And if you're not in a great position, all it takes is one catch, one run out, one big boundary, one big over, and the game changes. So it's the full 20 overs. You have to be on the game, on the money. You cannot ever get complacent. And I think, with David Warner, he's always, once he put a team in a strong position, he's thinking, 66 for none, halfway there. How are they going to get 10 wickets? We should win this. It should be an easy win. Well, they were 58 for 2, actually. They lost 2 wickets. They lost both of them quickly. But they still should have won that. But you shouldn't, T20, you shouldn't think like that. You should think, no, we're not over the line. Not until that fat lady thinks, man, we need to be over the line. And once we're over that line, then only. And
it was thriller. Tail biter in Punjab is used to it now. Now for a Kings 11 Punjab, it was not something really different for a Kings 11 Punjab. Also, Paji, So
Okay, I've got to go now. I have to go.
okay,
Sorry.
Taji, no issues. But I'm really humbled, and you've been really benevolent to come here while driving as well. So thanks a lot. So now I have Nitesh ji and Rohan. Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments or questions? You can go ahead.
बिल्कुल मेरा क्वेश्चन अब आपसे ही है 44 गेंदों की पार्टनरशिप थी मनीष पांडे और विजय शंकर के बीच में 33 रनों की 21 डॉट बॉल खेली उन्होंने उसमें शायद ये बहुत बड़ा नुकसान हुआ उनको कि बहुत ज्यादा डॉट बॉल हो गई और एक चीज और जब लिमिटेड ओवर क्रिकेट में जो छोटे स्कोर को जब चेस करते हैं तो एक वो थोड़ा ज्यादा ट्रिकी होता है और उसमें सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि जब दोनों बल्लेबाज खेल रहे थे स्टार्टिंग में तो शायद एक बैट्समैन थोड़ा एग्रेसिव खेल सकता था बहुत देर तक उन्होंने डिफेंसिव खेला और जब वो एग्रेसिव उन्होंने पहला शॉट एग्रेसिव लगाया मनीष पांडे ने और वो कैच आउट हो गए क्रेडिट मिलना चाहिए उस सुचित को कि जो शायद आई थिंक टर्निंग पॉइंट था वो कैच वहां पर
अग्रीड मनीष पांडे ये उनका नेचुरल गेम नहीं है 29 बॉलें खेली उन्होंने 29 बॉल्स एंड ही स्कोर्ड 15 रन्स ऑफ दोस 29 डिलीवरीज व्हिच एक्चुअली जो कि सिचुएशन को नहीं बिगाड़ा उन्होंने बट अपने ऊपर प्रेशर लेते गए और सडनली अगर ऐसी सिचुएशन आती है तो अगर एक कोलैप्स होता है तो आपके ऊपर प्रेशर आ जाता है नए बैट्समैन के लिए स्पेशली ऑन दीज स्लो एंड लो विकेट्स बिकॉज बैटिंग ऑन स्लो विकेट्स इट्स नॉट वेरी इजी टू कम एंड स्ट्राइक फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट बॉल बैटर एटलीस्ट नीड्स 5 to 6 balls to get set तो जो क्वेश्चन है आपका या कमेंट है ये बहुत वैलिड है 29 balls मनीष पांडे को द बिग हाँ
जी आप कंटिन्यू कीजिए प्लीज मैं पूछता हूँ फिर
मनीष पांडे मुझे कुछ जकड़े से लग रहे थे एंड दैट्स वेयर द ब्रिलियंस ऑफ रवि बिश्नोई केम मनीष पांडे इज अ वेरी गुड प्लेयर अगेंस्ट स्पिन बट रवि बिश्नोई ने जिस हिसाब से गुगलीज डाली लेग स्पिनर का इस्तेमाल किया गुगली तो उनकी बिगेस्ट स्ट्रेंथ है और क्विक है आर्म में तो आई थिंक मनीष पांडे एंड बोथ मुरुगन अश्विन एज वेल जिन्होंने 4 ओवर में 27 रन दिए 1 विकेट लिए तो वो उन्होंने एक तरह से ट्रैप कर लिया था मनीष पांडे और विजय शंकर को दे क्रैम्प्ड देम फॉर रन्स सिंगल्स नहीं आ रहे थे और जब बाउंड्रीज ज्यादा मैटर नहीं करती लो स्कोरिंग गेम्स में स्कोर बोर्ड चलाने के लिए सिंगल्स बहुत जरूरी है विराट कोहली इज अ वेरी बिग प्लेयर जस्ट बिकॉज कि वो चाहे बाउंड्रीज नहीं भी आ रही हो वो प्रेशर नहीं लेते अपने ऊपर जस्ट बिकॉज कि वो सिंगल्स निकालने की कला है उनके पास रोहित शर्मा के पास सिंगल्स निकालने की कला है केन विलियमसन एट नंबर 3 उनके पास सिंगल्स निकालने की कला है सो दिस इज व्हाट एक्चुअली मेक्स दीज प्लेयर्स डिफरेंट
एक चीज और मेरा क्वेश्चन है क्या दोनों टीम चाहे वो पंजाब हो चाहे हैदराबाद हो दोनों टीम का कोलैप्स हुआ जैसे पंजाब को देखे तो 66 रन में 1 विकेट था और 88 रन में फिर 4-5 विकेट गिर गए थे उनके 5 हो गए थे शायद और सेम ऐसे ही इनका 100 रन पे 3 विकेट था फिर ऑल आउट हो गए 114 रन पे क्या दोनों टीमों की ये पुअर बल्लेबाजी है या इन्होंने पिच को रीड करने में थोड़ा सा गलती कर दी कि जैसे जब पंजाब को देखें तो शायद उनके मन में रहा होगा कि 160 170 तक स्कोर करना है हमको तो वहां से उन्होंने अपना गियर चेंज करने की कोशिश की बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो कोलैप्स हो गए और सेम ऐसे ही अगर देखें यहाँ पर भी तो क्या ये पुअर बल्लेबाजी है या फिर पिच को रीड करने में थोड़ा इन्होंने गलती कर दी और स्कोर को 140 150 तक कोशिश करनी थी ना कि 160 170 तक
देखिए बोथ जो आपने दोनों को पूछे दोनों इंटर रिलेटेड है आप इतनी हड़बड़ में जाते हो जब तो एटलीस्ट आपका एक मन में एक स्कोर होता है जिसको आप एम कर रहे होते हो और स्कोर आप तब एम करते हो जब आप पिच रीड करते हो उस हिसाब से तो जो दोनों आपके जो क्वेश्चन है वो इंटर रिलेटेड है अगर आप पिच नहीं सही रीड करोगे तो उस हिसाब से आप बैटिंग करोगे तो दोनों जगह गलतियां थी और बैटिंग में मैं ज्यादा कहूंगा और जैसे कि मैंने कहा कनेक्टेड है पुअर रन राशिद खान और बॉलर्स को क्रेडिट जाता है इन नो वे मैं आई विल नॉट टेक एनी ड्यू क्रेडिट फ्रॉम द बॉलर्स बीट राशिद खान जेसन होल्डर फ्रॉम हैदराबाद और रवि बिश्नोई मोहम्मद शामी मुरुगन अश्विन इवन होल्डर अर्शदीप सिंह यंग अर्शदीप सिंह सो बिकॉज पंजाब को भी अगर आप देखें तो वहां पे उनका कोलैप्स हुआ गेल और राहुल 10वें और 11वें ओवर में आउट हुए.
आउट हो गए.
आफ्टर दैट निकोलस पूरन का कोई प्रॉब्ली साथ नहीं दे पाया. वो 32 नॉट आउट 28 गेंदों में उन्होंने बनाए. कोई अगर वहां उनके साथ खड़ा होता, ग्लेन मैक्सवेल आज भी फ्लॉप शो रहा, खड़े
टॉप हो
होते
गए
तो
जी.
शायद ये स्कोर थोड़ा और बेहतर होता.
10-15 रन और बढ़
और
सकता था. बिल्कुल.
हाँ, और सेम गोज फॉर सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद. मतलब इनके यहाँ तो पुअर डिस्प्ले ऑफ बैटिंग कहूंगा, बिकॉज 30 of 30 आफ्टर 15, 97 for 3, 30 of 30, and then suddenly the equation comes to 17 of 12, 14 from 6, and you lose the game.
Okay.
So अगर यहाँ देखें तो आप यहाँ पे 7th ओवर, 8th ओवर, 9th ओवर कंसेक्यूटिव विकेट्स गिरे तीनों ओवरों में. एंड आफ्टर दैट वो 17वां ओवर, 16वां ओवर जॉर्डन का, वहां से फिर एक डाउनफॉल चालू हुआ. So no one was expecting SRH to lose. 52 for no loss after 6. David Warner all guns blazing. Bairstow
बिल्कुल.
also supporting really well. और वहां से they lost the track. So I
मेरा
think
जी जी जी.
yeah. So
प्लीज.
I'm running out of time today now. So
लास्ट
I'll just
1 मिनट अगर आपसे.
Yeah. Okay. Please.
जो क्वेश्चन मैंने शुरुआत में किया था, जिससे मेरे को सर लोगों से कमेंट मिली, आपका भी मैं कमेंट चाहूंगा. क्या कभी कोई अगर एक्सीडेंट होगा तभी ये आई थिंक ये रूल चेंज करने का समय आ गया है कि आज जो हुआ वो बहुत तेज थ्रो था, और जब कोई खिलाड़ी कैप लगाए रहेगा या फिर विदाउट हेलमेट या विदाउट कैप जब बल्लेबाजी कर रहा होगा और वैसे ही सेम पोजीशन आएगी, तब वो बहुत बड़ा एक्सीडेंट हो सकता है. आई थिंक अगर वैसा होता है तो उसके बाद ही शायद आई थिंक रूल चेंज हो. क्योंकि जब फिल ह्यूज की डेथ हुई जब 2014 में, जो ऑस्ट्रेलियन, तो फिर हेलमेट में भी कुछ कुछ बदलाव किए गए साइड में और बैक साइड में.
ऐड
कि जब
किए गए, पैडिंग ऐड की गई, बिल्कुल पीछे एक एक्स्ट्रा
तो इस
प्रोटेक्शन
पर मैं
किया
आपकी
गया.
कमेंट चाहूंगा. जो मैंने क्वेश्चन किया था, सर लोगों की कमेंट तो मिली, पर आपका भी इसमें क्या व्यू है?
अब जब सर लोगों ने बोल दिया है, एक्चुअली मेरा कमेंट इतना मैटर नहीं करता, क्योंकि इट एक्चुअली
बिल्कुल.
रेस्ट अपॉन द आईसीसी.
वो
जो आईसीसी
जी
चाहेगा वो होगा. वी कैन एक्चुअली हैव एन आर्ग्यूमेंट, हैव अ डिबेट, हैव healthy discussion about this, but our comments really don't matter. Or as a point made up by Shiri sir, that was really valid कि
जी.
स्पिनर को खेलने के लिए मोस्ट ऑफ द बैट्समैन चाहते हैं कि उनका हाथ पड़े, हाथ से क्या बॉल निकल रही है. और जब कैप पहनते हैं तो वो ग्रिल नहीं होती, तो दे हैव अ क्लियर विजन.
बिल्कुल.
दे हैव अ
ये
क्लियर विजन. तो प्रॉब्ली
वैलिड पॉइंट
पाजी
था.
ने भी बैक किया था कि स्पिनर्स को अगेंस्ट मतलब हेलमेट कंपलसरी नहीं किया जा सकता. सो इट एक्चुअली डिपेंड्स ऑन द प्लेयर्स. ऐसा नहीं है कि सारे ही प्लेयर्स कैप पहन के खेलते हैं या बेयर हेडेड खेलते हैं स्पिनर्स को. दे मोस्ट मेनी ऑफ द प्लेयर्स हु प्ले विद द हेलमेट
रोहित शर्मा
स्पिन एज
शायद
वेल.
हेलमेट पर ही खेलते हैं, वो कंप्लीट बारी
हाँ,
हेलमेट में खेलते हैं रोहित शर्मा.
हेलमेट में खेलते हैं. एंड इट एक्चुअली इज अ सुपरस्टिशन एज वेल. ये सुपरस्टिशन भी होता है कि हेलमेट नहीं उतारना है पूरे मैच में. ये भी मैंने कई प्लेयरों से देखा है कि यार ये सुपरस्टिशन है कि हेलमेट नहीं उतारेंगे पूरे मैच. बाय द वे, अगर कोई हमारे साथ जुड़ना चाहता है तो मैंने लिंक शेयर कर दिया है लाइव चैट विंडो पे. यू कैन ज्वाइन.
जी बिल्कुल.
आई हैव बिट लास्ट 5 मिनट्स अगर आपके कोई कमेंट हो, बिकॉज वी आर रनिंग आउट ऑफ टाइम. लास्ट 5 मिनट्स कोई और आपका कमेंट? अदरवाइज आई ट्राई एंड रैप अप. I think he's have some technical issues, but at the same time, I'd like to remind you to please subscribe the channel and press the notification bell icon to get the update whenever we are live, because every day we have this live session at 11:45 p.m. Just after the match for the post-match analysis. And along with us, we have former English spinner Mr. Monty Panesar for the post-match analysis, and you have a chance to directly interact with him and ask your questions or put in your comments directly to him in the live stream. So please subscribe the channel, press the bell icon. And for today, it's goodbye, good night from my side. Have a good day, and hopefully we'll have a super Sunday tomorrow, as tomorrow is a double header as well. First match between CSK and RCB, another one between Mumbai Indians and Rajasthan Royals. So goodbye, good night. Stay safe, and hopefully we'll meet tomorrow.